What's going on, everybody? We are here with the amazingly talented, beautiful Lena Scissorhands from the incredible band Infected Rain. Lena, how the hell are you?
Wow, thank you for the introduction. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Doing very good, actually.
That's awesome. So I know you're in Las Vegas right now, right?
Yes.
How is it out there? Because I being in the South, I've heard that being on the West Coast, they're still kind of dealing with the pandemic in a pretty bad way. Is that true?
Well, not as much in Las Vegas, really, but in California, they do. I just came back from a very small trip to LA. I was just showing my sister around because she was visiting. And yeah, to our big surprise, there were certain rules and certain restrictions that we don't have here in Nevada. No. You know, I guess maybe their numbers are a lot different than
Right.
ours. I am not really qualified to tell you like details about it because I just don't follow for my own mental health. I guess I try not to.
Listen,
Uh,
I totally get it. I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to know what's going on in the world. You are, but just I don't go into details like numbers, statistics. I try not to because it affected my career so much, not just me, but everybody in the industry. So yeah.
That was actually a question I wanted to ask you.
Hmm.
So we'll get into some deeper things, but
Yeah,
you said that it affected your career so
of
much.
course.
All right, so just skipping ahead for a minute here. You guys are releasing your fifth album January 2022, right?
Correct.
So I know that you are passionate about your lyrics, and I know that being a rapper myself.
Yeah.
So during the entire pandemic, how has that affected you to this new album? Do you put some of that pain or some of that pleasure that
Yeah.
you had to go through during lockdown?
All the time. All the time. That's the rule number one for me to apply, when I write. But obviously when writing for this specific album, I was writing what was happening in the world at the time while
Hmm.
writing it. And it's just so happened that mainly, I polished all the lyrics throughout that time and wrote all the lyrics throughout that time. So yeah, this global depression and whatever you want to call it. And I'm not just talking about, the um, COVID virus. I'm talking
Hmm.
in general. It feels like the planet in general was sick, very
Yes,
sick. and
yes.
and and people weren't a big help for it, and it just like all the fires around the planet, the riots
The
around the
right,
planet,
right.
everything, everything was very depressing and painful to follow, to read about, to realize that our nation is still driven by greediness, still driven by hate.
Mhm.
And I wish people were a little bit more loving, towards everybody, not just people, but also the planet,
Right.
the animals, um, everything around us, like a little bit more understanding, more accepting, more loving, a little bit slowly.
Why do you think that is though? Why do you think
Well, it's so
what
easy. It's easy to answer. It's we um, love the easy life.
hmm
And the easy life is using plastic. The easy life is eating meat and killing animals.
right?
The easy life is, you know, just surrounding ourselves with so much unnecessary, so much that is just over consuming.
Right,
It's
right.
an easy life. And we get used to the so-called luxuries that we think are luxuries, that we think are necessary for our survival, which they're not. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, live like a caveman. No.
Don't go
However,
to the primitive times. I got
yeah,
you.
don't put I like how other people put words in my mouth when I say, it would be nice to change our habits in order for the planet to feel better, and us to feel better, us to have a longer life even.
Wow.
People think I am um advocating some sort of like
Agenda.
caveman. Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying anything. However, I am trying to bring to people's attention through my art, through my music, that all this happening in the world is our fault and we can change this. And the changes are so easy to do, and they will not affect our lifestyle as much as we all are afraid
Right.
you know?
So you would attribute 95% of the problems that are going on in the world today to us being humans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow, that's, I in a way I would agree with you. And
And including me, don't get me wrong, I'm not pointing fingers, but I do
no,
try my best to do certain things in my own little world, in my own little way. I'm trying to recycle,
mhm.
not overuse, maybe reuse as much as possible. If you already have something, that you have it, that plastic bag that you have,
Right.
for
Try to
example,
reuse it.
try to reuse it as much as
Dude,
possible. Don't throw it away,
Lena, let me
right
let me
away.
tell you how crazy it is that you mentioned that. So I have been trying to be more environmentally conscious, and my mom, she carries like one of those thermostat things, and she just constantly
Yeah.
refills it. So I not saying that I'm not trying to, or that I'm trying to save the planet, but I have a big water, like a smart water, plastic jug.
Yeah.
I wash and reuse that thing constantly. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't see the
absolutely.
point.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just one of the things that we can do. For example, rewatching our diet. And again, you don't even have to change like to a specific drastic diet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody assumes right away that I'm also pushing a specific diet because I'm vegan, and everybody's like, oh, not everybody can do this. I'm not asking you to be vegan. Just
Right.
pay
Oh
attention
man.
to what you're eating. Eat quality food. Don't eat quantity junk food.
So you know what someone would say to that, to the person who would be on the opposite side of what you're saying, and I totally agree with you 100%. But a lot of people who don't necessarily follow that, they would say, well, eating healthier or constantly, or even
Yeah.
being a vegan, it costs more to do these things, and some people aren't willing to
Yes and
put.
no. Yes and no. So of course it does if you are constantly craving super expensive, imitations of
Mm,
meat or cheese. But if you don't just crave that, and you stick to more vegetables, more fruit, stuff
mhm.
that comes from the planet, from the earth, and cook at home more than eating out.
Yes, yeah, I love to cook. I totally
There
agree.
you go.
Yes.
Like people are like, yeah, trust me, I felt that on my own skin. My significant other even pointed fingers on me at the time, saying that my food is more expensive than his, which is very frustrating to hear. However, I never get sick. How is that? How is that for a trade? Like, I
That
don't go to
is,
doctors. I don't go to pharmacies to
that's
eat,
so crazy.
to have like antibiotics a couple of times a year. That's a normal for a normal human being. Even
So can I,
my sisters, they go through that, and I talk the same to them because I love
right.
them.
Do they follow the same structure and subsect that you do as far as,
No,
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 wow.
no. Yes, they are trying to be more cautious about certain things regarding the environment, and certain things about the food. They love cooking, but
Hmm.
still, there are so many more things that I would like them to do in order to have a longer life. And
Like what?
instead, like, for example, eating less canned food, eating less sugar, less processed food and more real food.
Dude, you
Cleaning
sound
their
just like my mom right now. I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry, but you
sorry.
sound, no, you sound just like my mom. It's crazy. She says the same thing, but go ahead.
Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or
Oh,
not,
a
but
hundred percent, a
okay.
hundred percent.
I mean, your mom is a great woman from what you're telling me.
Yes.
That's amazing. I wish a lot of people were a little bit more cautious about um, all this processed food. And don't get me wrong, I understand. Sometimes you need to be super fast with your food because you're so busy, but don't do it every day. Don't
Right.
pollute your body, because you pollute your body, you pollute the planet, and the result
Yes.
is we have a shorter life, and our planet is dying as well. So I mean, maybe does it really, is it really not enough to just let you sit down and think about it a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, I totally agree with you.
And that's basically what I tried to do through the music as well, because it was shocking, it was very depressing, very shocking what was really happening in the world. And I mean, I don't think, at least in my knowledge, I don't think people went through anything like that for, like, I don't know, hundreds of years.
Wow.
Right? Think about it.
Yeah, if you think about it, when as a human
maybe during
conscious, maybe
maybe
during like the
during
Black Ages, right?
Yeah, the Black Ages, the plague, but that was so long ago, and that was mainly because the medicine wasn't as evolved as it is
Right.
now.
Oh my God. Hold on. Before the fact that you just said that, hold on. All right. So okay, the fact that you were talking about, the medicine wasn't as good as it was before, I'm curious. I have to ask you this. So looking in, I want to say it in the realm of chaos. You were talking about, are we the good or the bad? Are we the hunted or the prey? And I feel like that's basically what you're saying, right?
Absolutely, that's exactly what
Yes.
I'm saying. And trust me, when I talk about medicine, I don't mean pills. I mean
No,
scientists.
natural.
And yeah, I mean the science behind the medicine is way more evolved nowadays than it was, all those years ago when the plague was around. That's all I meant. But in general, medicine nowadays is kind of scary also as well, because again, I don't like to talk about any type of politics or any type
Totally
of
agree.
things like that. However, I have to mention that it is in the how to explain, the economics, they flourish because you eat very bad and you take all those pills to control your stomach.
Dude, exactly. It's a capitalistic way of thinking, because if you found let's take cancer for an example, a specific, let's say brain cancer. Let's say you found a root outside that you could take, brew into a tea, and that cures your cancer. But I'm sure that's out there. I'm sure there's some cancer out, or some cancer cure out there. But the big pharma, they don't want to release something that'll cure it because there's more money in.
It's not. That is absolutely a separate theory, which might be absolutely right. What I'm trying to say is even more simple. More simple than that, right? It's so obvious that nowadays we live in a society where, oh, my stomach hurt, I'll take this
a pill,
instead of being, oh, my stomach hurt, maybe I should stop consuming something in my diet that I'm eating every day and it causes that stomach pain.
That's so
Instead,
crazy.
we are like, oh, I'll take that pill and I'll be fine in 5 minutes. And I'll much rather take that pill every day than stop eating something that causes that pain. How is that possible?
It's crazy. And what's crazy, the fact is, if you didn't take that pill and actually, let's say, okay, well, maybe I ate too much red meat and maybe that's what made my stomach hurt. Well, try not to eat red meat for a month and let's see how that feels. If that doesn't work, then let's try something else. It's just, I call it the microwavable society. I feel like nowadays we, as humans, we want things quick, ready, fast. The microwavable society. So if I can just take this little pill to get rid of something, it's crazy. It's weird we're supposed to sit here and talk about music, but I mean, I feel like I've known you, me and you can just keep going forever.
No, for sure. But it is kind of related to the music, because this is what I write about. This is what I try to write about, and not only about the external world we live in, but also my internal world, because it's very hard for me to surround myself with people that think the same. And I, as just like I mentioned, I had even super close person to me pointing the finger and saying, your food is more expensive, like, really?
Are they eating the food though? That's the question.
That's not the problem. The problem is we are so used to hate or not accept what is not normal. But what is normal? Who invented the normal?
That's a good question. What is normal? All right, so let's bring it back here for a second. With the name Lena Scissorhands, I'm willing to bet you are a fan of Tim Burton.
I am a big fan of Tim Burton, but that's not why I got this name.
Please tell me how.
Not at all. Yeah, when I was 16, I actually finished a hairdresser school,
Wow.
and because I had to learn that, I have to earn my living by myself pretty young. I come from a very poor family, so
Mhm.
I had a
Moldova,
couple.
right? That's where you're from.
Yes,
Okay.
Moldova is where I'm from,
Okay.
and it's a pretty poor country by itself. But also, my family wasn't doing so good, so I I um, I wanted to have a job, and I chose something that I really loved. And together with my high school, I didn't drop school, by the way. I went and I attended this hairdresser school for what I don't remember right now how long that was. But when I finished the school and graduated, my friends gave me a t-shirt that said Lena Scissorhands when I
Oh,
was
that's
16.
dope. That's
And I'm
dope.
talking, and that's like 19 years ago. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
a lot of years ago. And yeah, I mean, I just used that name later on for an email for my like social media and stuff. And it just stuck with me.
It's
So I
stuck.
became this Lena Scissorhands way before the bands. That
You
was just something. And I was later on working as a hair makeup artist for a
right.
long time before the band.
I will say if the we have watched two videos and we reacted to post-mortem, and I will say every video, which has been two, but every video I've seen you in, your hair is always great. And I'm sure you have a makeup artist, I'm sure you have a hairdresser, but I feel like you might
No,
have
I
something.
don't. I do it.
Exactly. That's the hairdresser in you, you know?
Yeah, I do my own looks
That's
for
awesome.
music videos, unless I have something very unique to do and I can't do it myself. Then I um, um, apply to some of my colleagues that used to work with me and stuff. Yeah, they help me out sometimes.
All right, so bringing it back here, Infected Rain, you guys were you guys were formed in 2008 by I want to say the guitar's Vadim, right?
Yes, correct. We actually played our first show in 2008. We started rehearsing in the late 2007.
Oh wow.
So yeah, but we consider that first show being the beginning. So
Right.
that's why that's the information in online that you find. Him and his friend were creating this band, and then I was right away. So technically, me and him, we are from the beginning.
So how long being from Moldova, how long have you been in the States? Let me ask you that.
6 years now.
Okay, so being from Moldova and a small, pretty small place,
Yeah,
you have to help me with the pronunciation
no
of the
problem.
name you were from.
Ishno.
Okay, so being someone such talented as yourself, I know as a fellow lyricist, a fellow writer, fellow engineer, fellow rapper, I know that you write all your lyrics. But
Yeah.
growing up in Moldova, was there really a scene of, because I've seen you guys be classified as deathcore,
Mhm.
new metal, and honestly, I don't think any of that. I think you guys are a mix of symphonic death, or from what I've heard, symphonic metal, deathcore, and new metal. But growing up in Moldova, was there a metal scene out there?
Not much, no. I mean, we have a lot of talented people in Moldova, a lot of talented metalheads, a lot of bands do start something, but it's just super hard, it's super hard. The country doesn't offer you even anything. There are no places to even play shows
Oh
locally.
wow, really?
Yeah, we have to like rent super expensive places to play locally. And it's very difficult. The bands that we had so many bands. Like growing up, I remember somebody will be brave enough to open up a place that is more alternative, but it
Hmm.
will survive only for like a couple of years and that's it.
That's
And then they
crazy.
close, and then maybe in a couple of years somebody else opens up, and it's super super sad. It is, because we do have a lot of musicians that are worthy and they are talented.
Hmm.
I it hurts, it hurts to realize that.
Your home
uh,
country.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so that's why we had to tour a lot to spread the word about the band and to work very hard nonstop. And that's why it took us, longer maybe than some. Take another band that is 13 years old. They were probably way more known than Infected Rain. Not
Hmm.
that this is our goal, but just in comparison, the only reason being is where we started from. We don't complain though. We don't complain.
Yeah.
We don't regret anything. We are hard workers, and we wouldn't change that experience for anything else, really.
So as let's little Lena, when she was 5, 6, 7 years old, what drew you to this type of music? I mean, and I
No, that's too early. I started listening to alternative music around 13.
oh, so right there. Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
so before that, I wasn't really like, no, I don't know. When I was super small, I thought I'm gonna be a doctor
A
because my mom
doctor.
is a nurse, and I thought I'm gonna be just like my mom. My mom was always a hero in my eyes, and
Oh.
yeah, I thought I'm gonna be a doctor, and then little by little, I started noticing that I really like hair, and I have younger sisters, and I used to do their hair all the time.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's how I developed the idea to become a hairdresser and makeup artist later. But the love for music, I always loved music. I was
Hmm.
always like driven to music when
Right.
I was small, and wanted to dance all the time. Me and my sisters, we used to dance a lot and play and invent like a lot of dance moves together and stuff like that, and put choreographies to our favorite songs and stuff like that. Oh
I
yeah,
could
oh
just
yeah,
see you as kids out there dancing to like your favorite songs. I could
oh
just
yeah,
see that.
absolutely, absolutely. In fact, my one of my sister, she even became later on. She was a dancing teacher, hip hop
Oh
dancing teacher.
wow.
So she doesn't do that anymore,
Right.
which is a big pity because I think she's insanely talented. But life, you make priorities, you change your mind, and it's fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just started noticing that, like on radio stations or on MTV at the time, certain music touched me more than other. So that's
Right.
how I discovered that, hey, I noticed that the more weird sounding music,
You
alternative
like
sounding
it more.
music, I like more.
Right,
So
right.
that's how slowly but surely I started listening to Nirvana, and then Offspring, and then all the new metal bands that were around on MTV at the time. And yeah,
Okay, so let me ask you this. 15, let's say I'm talking to the 15-year-old Lena. Who were your favorite top 3 favorite bands when you were 15?
yeah, it was Nirvana. It was Sepultura.
Oh, I love
Um,
Sepultura.
yeah,
Yes.
I loved. I remember listening to him a lot with their album.
Dude, hold on. I just thought of something. Okay, wait a minute. Growing up as a rapper in Atlanta, Georgia, this is why we started the Rappers React, YouTube channels, because they want us as rappers to watch metal videos. So as a kid, I want to say maybe 10 years ago, I used to love this song by Tattoo. I used to love that band, all the things
Hmm.
she said. After watching Postmortem Part 1, I'm like, dude, why does this girl's voice sound so familiar? And I remember finding a heavy version of all the things she
Yeah,
said. It was you.
it was me.
Dude, please talk about that. I love that song. Why that
Thank you so
song?
much. Yeah, the band Tattoo is from Russia, and I believe they had a an entire album in English at the time. I don't want to lie, maybe they had way more than that, but definitely they had a lot of versions of Russian songs in English.
Right.
So all the things she says is one of those.
Mm.
In Russian, it's called the "Я сошла с ума," and I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but it exists, and mainly it existed in Russian, and then they did versions in English, and it was a big hit because the girls. I don't know if they are lesbian
I
or
think
it
they
was
are. I think
just
they are.
their image. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
good for them. I hope they are, because I'm very supportive of
Yes.
uh, love
Just
in
being yourself, basically. Just
yeah.
being yourself.
So but it was a very big deal at the time because they blew up when I was a child, like very long ago, so it was pretty scandalous because of the it's a very powerful um love message in the song,
Hmm.
specifically from a woman to a woman. So yeah, so later on, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say 4 years ago, I met this girl. She's from Russia, and she lived in LA, and she also is a singer of a band called Chase the Comet. And
Ooh.
yeah, so we became friends, we became friends, and I believe in a year or a little bit more than a year, she had this brilliant idea to collaborate, and I was like, yeah, let's collaborate with pleasure. I didn't know she meant let's do a cover together.
Right, right. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so then she was like, let's do this, this song together. And I remember first, I didn't tell her no, but my
Hmm.
first reaction between me and me was like,
You were a little standoffish.
oh, no, 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 for one reason only. Reason being, I'm not a huge fan to do covers, really,
Wow.
unless it's something I relate to a lot and it's something from my childhood. And I love this song. I could relate to it 100%.
Right.
However, I wanted quality, and I said to her, I will do this only if we include my musicians from my
Mm,
band as well,
affected,
because
right.
I will feel comfortable to produce it with my producer
Right, right.
and work on it properly. In fact, that's what we did. She agreed, and that's what we did. My drummer recorded the drums for it. Vidic did ideas for guitars and all that, and my producer produced it. It
Right.
wasn't even supposed to have a music video yet. And then I believe in another year, not even right away, I was planning a trip to LA,
Hmm.
and I wanted to see her. And she was like, oh my God, why don't we film a music video for this song? And I was like, okay, what can we film? It's not our song, it's a cover, so it can't be a very like complicated music video with a plot and
Hmm.
everything, because it's not our song, and we shouldn't promote it
Exactly.
as something custom or
Right.
whatever.
Or something original when you're not the original owner.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So then we came up with this idea of just having beautiful visuals on like this morning light on the bed, and just like this couple is kind of fighting, like almost like
Yeah.
fighting, just being emotional in a way. And that's when I included our manager, and I was like, hey, I want you to give it a listen, because I think you would, because there's this thing, the label that a band is signed with has the right to see what you're working on
Exactly.
outside the band the first, so it's only to be fair towards the label. We were like, hey, this is what we're working on. And I remember the label being like, we want it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I want to go back though, because you said that you're sometimes you're a little standoffish with
I wouldn't say standoffish. I didn't use that word. I say I get skeptical. I get,
skeptical when it comes to collaborating with other
yeah,
people.
yeah.
So on the song "The Realm of Chaos," you collaborated with Heidi Shepard.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
And
How
this
did
was a little bit different. She collaborated with us
ah
because it's an Infected Rain song. In fact, that wasn't really even planned. That wasn't the original plan. So I actually recorded fully vocals for the song. We have the version just with me. We
mhm.
won't release it ever, but we have the version just with me. And then when we were producing it and polishing the details and working on all the mastering and all that, that's when the idea came out, because me and Heidi, we are close friends,
Right.
and it just made so much sense. The idea just came in very organically, and she said yes right away, because she could relate to the lyrics, and she really always supported what I was doing with my band. And so that was her collaborating with us.
All right, so let me you said she that she really felt with the lyrics. Did you do the majority of the songwriting, the lyric writing on that, or did she help with that?
No, 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 that was fully me.
Okay, so being a rapper, and I love the fact that I am being introduced to the entire metal scene, because I've gone to see Gojira,
Yeah,
I've fallen in love with the metal genre. I don't care
yeah.
what it is. Slipknot's one of my favorites. Tool's one of my
Perfect.
favorite. But
Yes,
in
those
are
are
you
perfect bands.
are you a Tool fan?
Tool, Gojira, Slipknot, Deftones.
Dude, you're taking my questions away, Lena. No, because I want to get back to the point. All right, first of all, let's talk about the lyric writing.
Before you move on, if you are a rapper and you have love for metal, you should give a try to the band Hacktivist from England.
You know
They
what?
are two rappers rapping on metal, amazing metal music. They are my
Hack
friends.
hacktivist?
Hacktivist. Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Try that.
So this is something that I ask whenever I interview people because we take reactions from our suggestions from our subscribers to do reactions. So I'm gonna take that as your suggestion for
Sure.
us to do reaction.
Yeah,
What
sure.
song though?
Just go for the latest. I forgot the name. I
The
forgot
latest
the.
one?
Yeah, they are about to release their new album, and they have a couple of singles. I really love how hardworking they are, and they are very innovative because they are two rappers, and they have this genty, super heavy music to what
Yes.
they rap. It's amazing.
Yes. And I
Even
appreciate
intense.
that. You writing the lyrics to Postmortem, I do want you to break this one down, okay?
Okay. All right.
Hitchhiker, where are you trying to go? What's
Mhm.
calling you to hit the road, carrying souvenirs of better times from place to place to town to town, from place to
Yes.
place to town to town. Okay, now hold on. Let me try to
Yes.
tell you what I think that's about.
All
I
right.
think this song Postmortem is about being I don't know if you're speaking about yourself or if you're speaking about someone else, but it sounds as if someone's lost and you're just trying to find your way in the world. Am I somewhere in the ballpark there?
You're very close. I this one is not about me. This one is about a person I really cared about, I would
Mhm.
say. But it's also something that I notice a lot in people. And I know a lot of us have either a friend of a friend of a friend that is exactly like this.
Right.
So this hitchhiker, this main character in this music, right? This so-called hitchhiker, just his name in general is already meaning somebody that is traveling,
Hmm.
and it's taking chances, right? Because a hitchhiker doesn't just take public transportation to
Right.
go places. He is taking
You don't know who
chances.
you're getting in the car with.
Exactly. And what is the place that person is going to take you to normally, right? So that just that hitchhiker has already it's a big metaphor, and there it's a keyword for this song. So where you're trying to go is imploring to stop for a second. Do you
Hmm.
even know where you're going?
Mm.
And then what's calling you to hit the road? Why are you constantly going somewhere? Why are you constantly, what is really the main reason that
Right.
you not stopping for a second? Now, carrying souvenirs of better times, that is also a very strong
That line hit me the
phrase.
hardest.
Yeah, that has a lot of meaning and metaphor in it. So you are carrying with you, right? You carrying with you souvenirs of better times, which means the past. You dwell on the past. You dwell so much on the past instead of just accepting it and take and
Yes.
learn from it. You dwell on it, right? From place to place, to town, meaning that you're still continuously moving
Right, right.
instead of, maybe stopping for a second, looking around and analyzing what's going on, or accepting what's going on, or um, acknowledging the present
Hmm.
time
Instead of looking in the
instead of.
past.
This song is mainly about the struggle between past and future. So there's a lot about that as well, because this hitchhiker is constantly going to the future, his
Hmm.
destination. In fact, there is a postmortem part 2, and I do reveal the destination of the hitchhiker in part 2.
Oh, can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it now.
Yes.
Damn. So going back, just a little personal thing. Is it true that you have I know you're very tatted up. I know I love your tattoos, but is it true that you have a Powerpuff Girl tattoo?
Yay.
Do you really? I love the Powerpuff, and dude, I
Yes.
love the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
But it's dedicated to your sisters, right? It shows
Yes.
how close knit you guys are.
Yes, we grew up watching that cartoon together and pretending that we are Powerpuff Girls, and we all have our own. We chose who we are when we were small, and
Which one were you? Do you remember?
yeah, it's this one
With the green? Oh, the
with
blue?
the green and black
Yes, that
hair.
was my favorite.
I used to have black hair. Yeah,
That's
Buttercup,
awesome.
I think is her
Butter
name.
is it? I think that was Buttercup. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I think me and you are around the same age, and trying to go back that far back is like, okay, I can't really remember. But it's crazy, going and I'll say this, being a part of Napalm Records, tell me about that. When did you get with Napalm Records? How did, because I've spoken, to Sumo Psycho and quite a few other bands from Napalm Records, and every one of their stories is slightly different. How did Infected
Yeah, it's
Rain get a
very
part?
interesting actually. Napalm Records was around for a while. They
Mm-hmm.
first noticed us and gave us the first offer, I want to say sometimes in 2014,
Where did they
something
approach you
like
at?
that.
Was it at a show or
It
something?
was, yes, it was at a festival and maybe some of their bands were there or something. Yeah. And we got the email almost right away after that show. And we were just not ready, to accept. We were independent for so long
Right, right.
and we were you know, doing what we love, and we were very scared that somebody now will step in to change us or whatever. And I don't know, we weren't ready, right? So through time, Napalm Records made sure we know that they are around, made sure we know that they are still interested. And every time with the newest album, like after we released our third album called 86, we got another offer. They really liked the music and everything, and they're like, we wish we signed you before because this album is so good, and we could have,
Wow.
promoted for you, and send it to all the stores and everything. And we still didn't take the second offer. We just didn't feel ready
You
for
you
it.
weren't ready. Yeah, and I get it.
Yeah,
Being
and
be
and and more and more and more, and they've been around all these years, and once in a great while we will receive an email from them. Obviously other labels did it too, and other labels tried too. And then when we were about to release Endorphin, our fourth album,
yeah,
we were already considering a couple of offers. And I gotta say that Napalm won because they were so
they're adamant. They were
stubborn.
persistent. Yeah, persistent. Very.
Yeah, and I mean, so far we don't regret it. Obviously, there are ups and downs in every type of deals. There are ups and downs in being independent, even.
Yes.
So you gotta just see what works better. And we signed with them in February of 2019
Oh
with the
wow.
release, with the release of the first single of the fourth album, and then we released the fourth album with them. And then we had a tour, and then pandemic happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I want to go back, going back to the beginning. You guys, one of your first, I want to say it was an EP. And, after listening to Postmortem Part One, I'm like, well, let me go back and see what some of her older stuff sounds like.
Mhm.
So I checked out some of the songs on Judgmental Trap, which is back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So I will say, okay, first of all, let me ask you this. Is it being label mates with Tatiana from Ginger, right?
Mhm.
I feel like you have like the perfect balance between that straight gutter growl that you can pull from the inner depths of your soul, but then you have this beautiful melodic voice. And then I went back to Judgmental Trap, and it's like a gutter, a more grittier, more not as polished. But now that you're going up, you've developed your craft to where you can make something newer sound something like it's old, but make it sound 10 times more polished. Would you agree
Well,
on that?
oh, of course. I was never a singer before this band. I was never in a band before this band.
Well,
So I
we
had to learn a
we can
lot.
say shout out to Melissa Cross, because I heard
So
she.
yes, I was just about to tell you that,
Mhm.
I had to take lessons. So
Mm,
obviously, I didn't take lessons right away with Melissa. I had a local vocal teacher from Moldova first, working with me for 3 years actually. And then
mhm.
I was always eager to learn more. When I love something, I want to be the best version of myself in that thing. This is how
Right.
I'm made, even with my jobs, everything. I've always been like that. And I absolutely love singing. So I want to sound to my best capacity. I don't want to be better than anybody.
Yes.
I just want to be the best version of me.
Yes.
And yeah, and working with Melissa throughout all these years and everything, yeah, made me sound the way I sound today.
Yeah, and I know I've heard that she's worked with a lot of people, and I heard that she's
Yes.
very good at finding what you're good at and just bringing it out times
Yes,
10.
she is absolutely. We are actually very close friends now,
Oh wow.
and I mean, we kind of right away became friends, to be honest. Yeah, and she is an absolute sweetheart. She is my mentor, to be honest, because she didn't just teach me how to use my voice.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me to accept myself. She taught me to be myself in the music, which is so important.
Oh yeah,
Because
originality is a
unfortunately,
big thing.
yeah, unfortunately, a lot of bands try to sound like somebody else or aspire. There's okay to be influenced a little bit by certain bands, but be you.
Yeah, I think, see, I don't know how familiar you are with the hip hop culture, but I wish rap these days would focus on more of being original because a lot of these rappers sound the same, but when we listen to metal, whether it be grunge or progressive or death or new or whatever, everyone has their own lane. And I love that about
Yeah,
the
that's
entire
why.
genre.
Oh, I agree with you. That's why my favorite rapper is NF because he's not afraid.
Oh, love
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, he's my favorite rapper. I absolutely love him. I love the things he bring up in his songs and the things he writes about. I can relate to almost every single thing he writes about. And he's not afraid to add so many new things in his music videos. His music videos are dark. He's dark.
Yes.
He like um the sounds and the beats and the music he raps to is more innovative in my opinion.
Hmm.
He's not afraid to sing a little. He's not afraid to sound grungier here, and I love that.
Right. And I would say the same about you. You're not afraid to, if you want to hit
Thank
this,
you.
do wherever. I'd say you're very creative in that.
Thank
You
you.
know, it's crazy. Okay, so winding down here, I just want to ask some person. And if you haven't noticed, I put my notes away because I'm connecting on a personal
Good,
level
good,
here.
good.
So I want to know if you could, because you went from NF, to Sepultura.
Yeah.
If you could perform with three bands, dead or alive, or if you could watch three bands perform, dead or alive, who would those three bands be?
Wow. I mean, obviously, would love to see Queen live. I'm a
Oh,
big
Freddie
fan.
Mercury.
Yeah,
Yes.
huge fan. Um, Definitely would love to see Michael Jackson as well. He has a special place in my heart and everything he did for the music. Um, but yeah, other than that, all the bands really, to be honest, I'm very curious to see newer bands, bigger
Yeah.
bands. Would love to see NF live for sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely very good. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to just nail down three.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean,
I still never seen Deftones live, and they are like my favorite band.
can I show you something right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to show you this. So one of my subscribers, I'm a huge Deftone fan. One of my goals is to make a song with Chino. I
Same.
have I have an original Deftones jacket from the 1996 signed by Chino.
Wow.
Jacket. This is a prized possession of mine. I'm a
Yeah.
big
Wow.
Deftones fan,
Me
man.
too. I have Chino tattooed on me.
Do you?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I'm a
Yeah,
huge
it's just crazy how, I mean, and I love the fact that you have such a wide variety of music. You went
Yep.
from Chino to Michael Jackson to NF. It's
Yep.
like you're all over the place.
I
It's
am.
great. But
And not many people think it's great, but I don't
no,
care. I just think if music speaks to you, it doesn't matter what genre it is.
yes. And Lena, I'm pretty sure I heard you say that a true artist should be open-minded and listen to all
Yes.
kind of music. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. And that's definitely something I try to um, explain to people.
Yeah. So, all right, just a few quick quirky questions. If you could have a superpower, any superpower, what would that superpower be?
Yeah, I've been asked this question a couple of times, and I think I will stick with my answer.
What
I
you
would
got?
love for people to stop lying. I would like to
Ooh,
be able to have that superpower to
ooh,
stop. Yep.
damn that, dude,
That
that
would
would,
be that would be a much more, in a way, maybe even cruel world, because people
Yes.
will always say what they think, but at the same time, no expectations, no, nobody will ever be confused about what people think, and yeah,
Dang.
people
Let's
lie too
let's
much.
let's think about that though. If you had the ability to have everyone stop lying, yes, it would be a much more cruel world. But man, that's a deep one there, Lena, because think about, like, we were talking about the pharmaceutical companies, and I hate to go back.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are some people ready to hear? Hey, this
No,
isn't gonna
nobody's
cure
ready.
you, but this might treat you. But it's the truth, though. You
Yeah.
know?
No, people are not ready. That's why everybody's lying. I mean, we
Damn.
don't get me wrong. I understand certain white lies, they are called, to be nice, right?
Right,
And I
right.
understand that. Still not necessary, but okay. But I'm talking about the unnecessary, big, fat, nasty lies that people feed you every single day, including your friends, including your family, including your coworkers, including you. Why? You know what I
So,
mean?
would you agree that that's just human nature? That's just
It
human
is.
nature.
It is, but it's unnecessary. It's something we invented. It's
You're
unnecessary.
right. It's a human construct. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
so unnecessary, seriously. That's why I have to sometimes explain myself to some friends of mine, being like, hey, I know certain things that I'm going to tell you are going to maybe hurt you,
But it's
or
the truth.
but it's going to be the truth. Please remember that if I am around, I care about you and I love you.
Oh.
And even if there was something that I didn't like, I will be honest about it. I'm not going to be like, thank you, or
No,
whatever,
keep it,
go
man.
home and never call you back. What the fuck? Are we like six? What the hell? You know what I mean? So, honesty, even if it's brutal, I mean, there are ways to say the truth. So be nice, be
Yes.
kind,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but be honest, because people are like, you're not gonna
Mm.
like if everybody's gonna be honest with you and tell you the truth. There are ways
To
that
be,
you can,
yeah, to be truthful while being
yeah,
nice or
just be nice. I
man.
mean, if you hate me, it's different. Obviously, you don't care about being nice.
Right.
But if you care about me and you're my friend or my fan or my
You
family
want the
member,
honesty.
I of course, even
Damn it,
with
Lena.
coworkers, I know.
Damn it, Lena. You just fucked my head up there for a second. I mean, because I'm trying to think about it. Like, it's growing up in school. I was one of the most popular kids in high school. But as I've gotten older, it's like, my friend, I've got two friends. And the two friends that I do have, if like last night I had a recording session in the studio, we made some music, and I thought the music was great. And my buddy that I've been friends with forever, he's like, dude, it's not that good. And I need that, because
Of
some
course.
people they get put on a pedestal, and there's this thing called the it's almost like the imposter syndrome, so where you think you're so good but you're actually not, but
Yeah.
people are
Well,
telling you that because you
yeah.
you don't want to hear the truth. It's like you're almost afraid to get your feelings hurt, right?
Which is crazy to me, right? It's crazy to me
Mm-hmm.
because, and it's not only for those people that think so highly about themselves. What about the people that don't have confidence? And they are actually really good, but they don't believe in themselves. What about those people?
What do you do with those people?
You being honest with them, and that honesty will lift them up,
Damn it,
and
Lena.
will teach them how to believe in themselves, and it's okay to have doubts. I had to go through this through the past year, because I recorded my vocals by myself. I had to learn all the programs and everything. Normally vocalists go in a
And
studio,
an
stay in a
engineer does it.
vocal
Yeah.
booth, engineer does it.
That's
Now
my
it
that's my
wasn't,
role. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it wasn't possible for me to do so, because I couldn't travel for the majority of the time. And I had to be my own critic. And I discovered for myself that wow, I hate, delete.
Dude, we're the same way. Listen, I like if I'll make a song and let's just say the bar is one day I need to go outside. I need to go outside just to feel alive. If I said one word that doesn't fit my criteria, I'm taking it out. I don't want it. I don't want it because I want it to sound perfect. That to me, that's the sound of a true artist. That's the sound of a true artist. You know, like you said, Freddie Mercury. I think hands down, Freddie Mercury is one of the greatest singers of all time.
Yes, he
right?
is.
But
and he wasn't afraid to experiment with his voice, with his looks, with everything. He was real. That's why he was so scandalous, because he was real.
Yeah, same with Michael Jackson.
Exactly. And when I say real, they're like, how was he real? He was wearing these weird costumes.
But that's him. That's him. That's him. Man,
exactly.
I came on this interview and was expecting this to be cookie cutter and everything, but I feel like I've developed a friend and someone that I can talk to on a level that we have similar ideas. But now, as far as Michael Jackson, let me ask you this question. What about Prince? Are you a fan of Prince at all? You know Prince?
I'm not familiar with his music as much. I do have the Purple Rain and right. Obviously I acknowledge how big of a masterpiece that is, but other than that, I don't know. It was just never crossing me.
Yeah, but see, we're talking about the truth inside of a person. Freddie Mercury, one of the greatest of all times. Michael Jackson, he's the king of pop, one of the greatest of all time. Prince, and all these, even though to the masculine, I gotta look tough all the time. You look at those people, they look soft. When in all reality, that's them living their selves. Why don't you show your real self? You know, and that I salute to you for saying that, because a lot of people don't look at themselves like that. They feel like they have to put on an image to show, to be this macho man, when in reality, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Yeah. I don't know.
Just I guess what we have to stop ourselves and remember is 90% of the lies, little or big, that we say are unnecessary. 90% unnecessary at all. And I've been victim of it so much in my own life, including from when I was a child. And probably that's why I pay so much attention to it. And I can't do lies. I need honesty, even if it's a brutal, it's my father first, and then some of my friends, and then some of my boyfriends as well, like just such unnecessary things. I was like, why would you
just be honest?
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
You're right. I mean, dude,
what is the reason why friends or your significant others lied to you about certain things? Is because of their past experiences, where like they've been honest about something with their other friend or other girlfriend, and she made a big deal out of it. So they're like, "Ooh,
I have to lie.
I have to lie about it."
You're right.
And that's why I say, if we all stop lying, it's going to be better for everybody. Nobody has to pretend to like something. Nobody has to pretend to be someone. It would have been much better.
Lena, listen to me. I don't know if you're interested in motivational speeches, but you should try that out. I'm serious. You have a voice that's impactful, and even in your music, man, the fact that you pull that. When I first heard you, first of all, as a rapper, it blows my mind to see a female vocalist, a beautiful female vocalist, just hit those high guttural growls and then take it down. So you have a voice that's going to move people. I don't know if motivational speaking is something in your future, but you definitely got the niche for it. You definitely got the niche for it. So being in Las Vegas, and we'll wrap this up here shortly. Do you eat cereal at all? Like, no cereal. All right. So
I do some sort of granola variations.
Yes. I just want to know, because I know you were big on, if you had to eat one fruit for the rest of your life, what fruit you're going to go with?
Well, I will choose apple just because of its nutritional facts as well. People can really survive only by eating apples for months.
Do you think that's where the whole an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Do you think that's
Absolutely.
Wow, really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It gives you energy almost more than a coffee can give you. And it has so many vitamins and it hydrates you. So basically that's all we need to survive. But that's not necessarily my favorite fruit. I love apples. I love all of them. But I think my favorite is still pineapple.
Oh, yeah. Mine would be a tie between pineapple and mango. I love pineapple and mango, or even them crossed together, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Lena Scissorhand, listen, this has been an absolutely amazing conversation. Absolutely
Thank you for
amazing.
having me. I had fun.
Before I let you go, what would you like to say to all the Infected Rain fans? What you
I would
gonna
just
leave us
like
with?
to thank everybody because we had so much support and so much love during these hard times. And I'm sure a lot of bands have their own army of fans that help out. But I feel insanely, insanely lucky to say that our fans are the best.
Yes.
And thanks to them, me personally, I was able to build my own vocal studio, to work on music, never give up, stay strong, for all the content that I was constantly giving online, and the support I was receiving for every single little thing gave me strength to do more and more and more and keep me sane. So I owe you this, guys, and thank you for believing in the band. Thank you for
Yes.
supporting the band, and keep doing that because we need you.
Absolutely. With that being said, my name is Behringer Hollywood 6 Bonds, and we are over and out. Deuces.
Thank you.